Okay, 30,000 people climb Kilimanjaro on an annual basis, and 10 people die. Kilimanjaro is the highest freestanding mountain in the world, and I have been fortunate to summit once and to almost die on Mount Kilimanjaro. On Kev Talks today, we are going to be exploring the challenges in terms of capturing lessons learned and managing project knowledge on our projects. In 2004, I did my first ascent of Mount Kilimanjaro and was successful. I went up with a team of employees and friends of mine, and at a point in time on the mountain, just before we reached the summit, I was feeling extremely ill. We summited early in the morning, and on our way coming down, I could not breathe properly. As I got closer to the high camp, I started feeling a little bit better. However, I could feel a tremendous strain on my body, and I did not tell anybody. 10 years later, 2014, we attempted Mount Kilimanjaro for the second time, and we took my dad's ashes to the top, and I went with my family. 2 hours from the summit on day 5, I collapsed on the mountain, and I almost died. My wife assisted me to come down, and en route coming down, I collapsed again. I could not breathe. I asked the porter for oxygen, and when he took the oxygen bottle out, we then realized that he had forgotten to pack the attachment and the mask. So I had no oxygen on the mountain, and I had to get down to high camp. We then tried to evacuate myself with a helicopter, but we couldn't because the weather was too bad. And en route, while my wife was trying to help me, she broke her ankle. So we were both incapacitated on the mountain. Now, we're going to have a look at why this happened. Why did this happen to us? Well, I climbed the mountain in 2004, and I realized then that I had problems physically. And when I went in 2014, I'd forgotten about all of those issues that I had on the mountain. Because on projects, we have this euphoria when the project ends. People have left the project during the project, and according to many methodologies, we only capture lessons learned at the end of the project, which is not correct. We need to capture lessons learned all the way through the project, from initiating, all the way through planning, all the way through executing, and through closeout. And after the project, when we are monitoring the business benefit of the project, we should be capturing lessons learned as well. I've worked on many projects and set up a number of PMOs, project management officers. And out of 27 clients and PMOs that I have built, not once have I seen a proper methodology and a proper project management information system that guides for the collection of project lessons learned and the management of project knowledge. Some organizations have some of it, and a lot of organizations say that they do it, but when one starts interrogating, we cannot find those lessons learned, or even the artifacts in a project management information system. Now, I'm going to present you with 5 solutions of how to capture lessons learned on projects and how to manage project knowledge. Number 1, we need to equip the organization with a guideline and a process of how to capture lessons learned and how to manage the project knowledge in a system. And a system is made up of people, technology, and processes. Now, if we don't have the recipe catering for those three elements, our capturing of lessons learned and managing project knowledge will not be effective. We have to create the guidelines and the templates in a project management system for our project team members. We must move away from Excel spreadsheets. We must move away from PowerPoint presentations, and we need to start working within a database where we can start conducting analysis and analytics. Secondly, and for me, most probably the most important, is we've got to make it easy for project team members to capture lessons learned. If the methodologies and the guidelines are cumbersome and there are too many hoops that our project team members need to jump through in terms of capturing the lessons learned, they're not going to do it. But what we need to do is we need to use the project management information systems that we have at hand. We need to create lessons learned capturing on mobile devices. We need to have drop-down menus on our mobile devices, and it needs to be easy and comfortable for resources and project team members to add the lessons learned. We then need to take that information and synchronize it with our databases in our project management information system. Our resources and project team members can take photographs on site at present and feed that information back into a project management information system. And I'm going to reiterate, we need to get away from Excel, we need to get away from PowerPoint when capturing lessons learned. I'm not saying that those applications are not valid on project. They're both very good applications, but for lessons learned, they are not the best applications. We then need to be able to, within the platform, create data analysis so that based on that information, we can perform analytics, not only for our current projects, but for all of our future projects. We have all of the data captured in Word documents, in PowerPoint slides, in Excel spreadsheets. And I call that invisible equity, because it's equity, it's something that we own and belongs to the organization, but it's invisible. It's in people's minds, it's in memory sticks, it's in documents filed in a project management information system where we can't find them. Only the author of that information knows where to find it. And that is not good practice in terms of capturing our lessons learned and managing our project knowledge. What we need to do is we need to create visible equity. As I said, we need to equip the organizations with the guidelines and the procedures and the processes. We need to equip the organization with the correct technologies, and we need to take away the burden, and we need to create the discipline of capturing lessons learned. And as leaders of organizations, we need to give and equip everybody with the technologies in an easy manner that they can capture the lessons learned. Now, how do we drive the discipline? In terms of our people, our process, and our technologies, as they need to work together, how do we drive the behaviors of our team members to capture the lessons learned? Once we've given them the guidelines and we've given them the technologies, it then becomes a behavior problem and issue for the organization. And what I do is I link that to the KPIs of the individual on the project. Now it becomes a financial loss to the individuals if they do not follow the process and the procedures. Lastly is facilitation. Please get a professional facilitator into workshops that mutually, through very clever techniques, collect and facilitate the gaining of the lessons learned and then packaging those lessons learned into the project management information system. Because if we do that, we allow everybody on the project to contribute to the lessons learned and to create that visibility. To end off my KEF talk today, I'm going to give you a saying that you must never forget. Fools you are to say you learn by experience. I prefer to profit by others' mistakes and avoid the price of my own.